Quick little video on the Gun Psyker, which I find to be incredibly underrated. Some people even describing it as bad, when I think it is one of the Psyker's probably more fun, maybe less utility reliant classes. Because, I mean, other Psykers, you have far more, don't have to worry about ammo. You have lightning staffs that go straight through carapace. But I feel like it lacks quite a lot of damage. And that's what I think Gun Psyker easily fixes. It has, honestly, kind of stupid damage potential with the saber alone. Crits quite often without even using Scryer's Gaze. One-shots, all maniacs, especially if you're lucky and can get a crit on the head of a Charger Boy. Two shots, Ragers. If I actually hit them in the head, it will. Crits are common, so you can usually rely on them. Sometimes you get a Brain Burst, not so common, and it'll just absolutely decimate whatever you're shooting at. Brain Burst isn't really the ability itself, not entirely reliant. Only time you really use it is if you get a bulwark that is causing you pain. But other than that, unless you're out of ammo or something, it's never really touched. And the part that I think many people don't maybe get about Gun Psyker is especially with Brain Burst, it really benefits from an automatic gun, like the infantry auto gun Mark V. And these are the stats that I use preferably for these weapons. For the Mark V, Dum Dum and with Raking Fire would be a lot better, along with unyielding damage instead of flak. I think both of those, all of those combined, would make the perfect weapon for this. And go down the talent tree real quick, get more crit. You have a absolutely stupid amount of crit in this build, so crit is no brainer. You're going to be generating a lot of peril with Scryer's Gaze, and you're pretty much never going to explode unless it's completely your own fault and you try and Brain Burst with Scryer's Gaze. Combustion, nice for helping with hordes or just clearing out big groups of specialist enemies. Mandatory Kinetic Flare, so your attacks just have that chance to do a shit ton more damage. Soul Blaze, great with the Perilous Combustion like I mentioned before. One with the Warp, great for survivability. You're going to be critting all the time, so this is just pretty much necessary if you really want the build to work proper. Range damage, of course, just to get down to Scryer's Gaze. You want to be, of course, movement speed too. And along with Disrupt Destiny, you'll be getting a shit ton of movement speed. You'll be zooming around pretty much like a knife zealot, or even faster. Slower peril generation, so you can keep that up longer. And damage reduction, along with getting more peril, more damage. It's going to be going up anyway. Might as well get more damage out of it. This is great for picking people up, since Psykers don't really have much stamina at all. And then this, True Aim, even more crits, and since we're using a fast-firing automatic weapon, it's going to happen all the time. Disrupt Destiny won't really be able to be shown off in here because it does not mark these enemies. But that is a small look at the talent tree that I use for this. And for anybody wondering, I am using the weapon customization mod, which you can find on the Darktide mod server on Discord. But let's show the true power of Gun Psyker. Mainly comes with this. You'll get those Brain Bursts all the time. Without even using Scryer's Gaze, this gun, already great. Shreds through pretty much everything. Not really worrying about much. Especially if you get behind things. Raking Fire is going to put in its work. It'll kill things even faster. Great for if your teammates are dealing with a bulwark. Just shoot it in the back. Dies pretty damn fast. Ragers. Not even a chance stood. But that's all minimal stuff. That's, you know, any auto gun like this can pretty well do that. But when you activate Scryer's Gaze, it becomes kind of stupid, in my opinion. You shred extremely fast. You're critting all the time. And that's not even just applied to the gun. You can switch over to the saber and do absolute stupid amounts of damage. And we just ran out of Scryer's Gaze, and it's back. Tried on some Ragers. Just hip firing. Gone. You got a Brain Burst. Gone. Crusher in your way. Don't have anything to do with it. Fine. Take out the saber. Show him who's boss. You don't even want to aim for the chests of the maulers at this point. It's better to just stab them in the head. Sometimes you just do that. Which is very satisfying to do. Although not guaranteed. Saber's pretty good at about 4 sharding. Crushers. Pretty well most any enemy isn't going to take over 4 or 5 hits if you're power attacking. Ragers, you get a crit, 2 hits. Even without a crit, you get a headshot, pretty well 2 hits. Switch on Scryer's Gaze. Pretty easy. Really helps with your crowd control. Really nice, but anyway. People also, they want to see bosses because, of course, you want to see bosses and how much damage it can even do to them. I really enjoy it for bosses. I think it does great damage. You're not going to be a veteran like 4-shotting a Beast of Nurgle or something, or a Plague Ogre, but you're going to do pretty fucking good damage. Raking Fire plus the Beast of Nurgle, you're gonna be hurting it. It's very easy to top damage and just mulch everything running this. We still have the benefit of Scryer's Gaze because it's active even after. If you really need to, just go up and finish it with a saber if you need to. The only major weakness with this is you're a psyker who's sharing ammo with your team. There's going to be times where you might have a veteran or people just heavily relying on ammo, and you're going to have to fight for ammo, and that's not always the best, especially on higher difficulties. But I feel like you more than make up for it if you are the one who needs the ammo with the amount of damage you can output. Say you're doing a Maelstrom with, you know, weakened monstrosities. They're not going to survive even getting to you if you get sided with them first. It's pretty damn good at dealing with anything. Any bosses, pretty well. I think maybe except the Karnak twins, it's not the best against. Don't know why that is. They just seem to have maybe a lot of health or resistance to that type of stuff. Pretty much everything else, really good. Works great on assassination targets. Pretty well my favorite do-all Psyker build. Now, I think that is it. I've given you my opinion on the weapons to be taken, my god roll for this, I think I've said before. Maniac, Unyielding, Raking Fire, and Dum Dum is probably the best you're going to get for a god roll. Only other weapons I can see working well with this is probably the Recon las guns. Do not want to use any parallel generation. You want to take advantage of Scryer's Gaze as long as you can. If you really need a extra bit of damage, you can quell off the Scryer's Gaze, keep it up for longer, more damage. Now, other than that, I think that is everything. Hope you who decide to take it enjoy the Gun Psyker build. It is a very, very large amount of fun.